What is up, everyone? My name is Owen, and welcome back to the Bent Fender podcast. And in this one, I will be reviewing the 2022 New Hampshire race, or the Loudon race. So, before the race started, it was rain delayed a little bit. It had rain just before the broadcast started, so had to wait a little bit for the track to dry. And then starting out on the front row was Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott. And then starting with the first stage, it was 70 laps. Martin Truex Jr. took the lead off the initial start. Then a couple laps later, Justin Haley comes down and pinches Ty Dillon to the bottom, who gets loose and spins, and Ty Dillon collects Bowman, McLeod, and Bilecki, and all four of those cars are out of the race, and that also brings out the first caution. After that, Martin Truex Jr. won stage 1. It was a dominant stage by him. Very tricky to pass in this first stage. Everyone was still looking for grip. And after the stage 1, there was 4 cars out of the race and 8 cars a lap down. So, starting with stage 2 then, now, was 115 laps. Martin Truex Jr. won the race off pit road. And then Kyle Busch just spins out, bringing out the second caution. Which, Kyle Busch doesn't normally spin out on his own, which is weird, but this year has been crazy already. Then, off the initial restart, LaJoie seemed to have overcorrected, and he collects Harrison Burton and McDowell. That brings out the third caution, and Corey LaJoie is out of this race. And on the pit stop, Martin Truex Jr. won the race off pit road, but barely. On the front view, I thought Harvick won the race off, but then they showed the side view, and Truex won by his nose, basically. Then on the pit stop, Chase Elliott had to pit again for a loose wheel. And a couple drivers didn't pit, so Joey Logano takes the lead. Then a couple laps later, Martin Truex Jr. takes the lead from him. And then Ryan Blaney spins and hits the wall, bringing out the fourth caution of the race. Martin Truex Jr. wins the race off pit road. And then Chase Briscoe spins, bringing out the fifth caution. And then a couple laps later, Kyle Busch spins again, bringing out the sixth caution. I don't think I've ever seen Kyle Busch spin out twice in a race before, which is weird, but I'm not complaining. Then after that, Almirola was off track. He was having a problem with his with his gear shift. It was stuck in, I think, third gear it was. So they had to go off track to fix it a couple times. Then Martin Truex Jr. wins stage 2. And after this, there were 5 cars out of the race and only 3 cars a lap down. Now for the third and final stage was 116 laps. Martin Truex Jr. won the race off pit road. And on the pit stop, Austin Cindric loses a wheel on pit road. So he's most likely not going to get a penalty for that. Then Chase Briscoe takes the lead because he did not pit. And then a couple laps later, Martin Truex Jr. retakes the lead. He was pretty dominant in this race. Then Todd Gilliland spins, bringing out the 7th caution of the race. It was the 7th and final caution. Then on the pit stop, Harvick was coming out of his box, and Austin Dillon was coming in, and they made contact. They both continued on. There wasn't really much damage up for both cars. In previous years, if that would have happened, both cars would have been hard to fix. But with this new car, they're a lot more durable, and hits like that, drivers just brush off. And Martin Truex Jr. again won the race off pit road. But then a couple people did not pit, and Kurt Busch leads. And then a couple laps later, Chase Elliott takes the lead. And within the commercial break, Christopher Bell took the lead from Elliott and just ran away with it. So Christopher Bell is another first-time winner this year, and he wins. So the top 5 was Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Martin Truex Jr., and Kevin Harvick. Was the top 5. Honestly, this wasn't an overly amazing race, because it was kind of hard to pass, but I'm on the fence of what I'm gonna rate this, honestly. So I think I'm just gonna rate this a 6.5 out of 10. Wasn't amazing, wasn't terrible, but... So, join me next week when I review the Pocono race, which Pocono is one of my favorite tracks, mostly because it's so different from all the other tracks. So, please remember to like and subscribe, as well as go follow my other channels. One being a D&D channel where me and my friends play Dungeons and Dragons. That is called Drunkards and Dumbasses. And go follow my main channel of FanRantan. And we will see you in the next one. Peace.